today. Yesterday, in Ahlat, we were able to visit the tombs of our ancestors, and we had a hectic schedule that lasted until late hours. And we also did the inauguration ceremony for the youth complex in Ahlat, and also we had the opportunity to watch our youngsters performing archery. Right afterwards, again in Ahlat, we visited the presidential complex that we have built, and we got together with governors of the region in that complex. And hopefully meetings of this kind, events of this kind, will be held at the presidential complex in the future as soon as we enlarge that complex, and hopefully we will have these events at every possible opportunity. During dinner, we had guests. Yesterday, we had artists, we had students, and we got together, all of us, and we had the opportunity to talk to one another, listen to one another. We are celebrating the 949th anniversary of the conquest. On leg 1, we had a lights exhibition, and from the presidential complex we were able to watch that installation of lights. And as such, we came to the end of our program yesterday, and Ahlat Presidential Complex is a testament to our victory at Battle of Manzikert, and it is a monument that we will bequeath younger generations. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who made this possible. And today we were at the Malazgirt Natural Parks area. Here we are with you, and we have also turned this space into something that befits the conquest. And right in the vicinity of the natural park, we built a silhouette of Alparslan. Every monument that we have built are actually stamps that we have put on this land. Like I always say, in our understanding of politics, it's all about building things. It's all about bringing service to people and serving the nation. Those who are engaged in lies and backbiting cannot, of course, understand and appreciate the importance of this. We are overjoyed by the joys of the nation. We are saddened by the plight of the nation, and those who do not fall within this category have other affinities. This geography is a holy land for us and for humanity at large. Our forebears, our ancestors, fought day and night for this land, and if needs be, they laid their lives on the line, and they left this land to us for protection, and we are following the footsteps of our ancestors. And the Battle of Manzikert did not happen on its own. This holy triumph is actually backed by great determination, preparation, and a great belief. Dandanakan victory helped the Seljuks prosper, and they held a council in this city, and they decided to venture into the west for conquest, and thus started forays into Anatolia, and they went all the way up to Izmir and Konya. Çağrı Bey, when he got back to Turkestan, said that there is no no power that can stop the Turks. My honorable nation, there are still those who do not want to accept this. Likewise, the emperor of the Byzantine Empire did not want to accept this. They prepared a very big army and set off from Istanbul, and they conquered the Manzikert castle and killed people. And Sultan Alparslan heard this news when he was in Egypt and changed the direction of his army and came to the area that's today between Manzikert and Ahlat. And he wanted to make peace at first. He wanted to make peace at first and send an emissary to the Byzantines. And the emperor trusted on the number of his troops, and he turned down the offer for peace, because the Byzantine emperor had 200,000 strong army, and Alparslan had 45 or 50,000 strong army. These two armies, on the 26th of August 1071, got together on the plain of Manzikert. It was Friday, and on that day, all across the Islamic world, people prayed for the triumph of the faithful, and people wore white dresses in the place of shrouds, just like Sultan Alparslan, and he addressed the army, and then he took the charge. And he used the Ricat Taarruz tactic of the Turks, and in a short while the Byzantine army lost, and at around sunset the Turkish army won a great victory in Manzikert, and this changed the course of Turkish history as well as the world history. This is a turning point, a milestone, and after this victory, all across Anatolia, conquests followed one another. And it all started from the plain of Manzikert, namely here, where we are today, and went all the way up to the coasts of the Aegean and Marmara. And our ancestors reclaimed this land as their homeland, because in our civilization, conquest, occupation is not pillaging. Conquest is bringing justice necessitated by Allah and making it rain in a given territory. If we cannot instill justice in a conquested area, if you cannot prevent oppression, you cannot claim to have conquested that area. Just like we always say, what is essential is the conquest of hearts. Our nation, all throughout its history, did away with oppression when they conquested a new piece of land and established justice. That's why our civilization is a civilization of conquests. All nations, apart from the Rum, especially the Armenians and Syriacs, were subject to a Byzantine policy of subjugation, and this conquest brought an end to that. Our ancestors at no point in time did practice imperialism. When they conquested a new piece of land, they helped that area prosper, and they gave the freedom to people to practice their faith and to speak their own language. History all across our conquested areas is a history of peace, stability and tolerance, coexistence and affluence. And we gave up a big fight to ensure this all across our history. Even today, in many of our cities, you can see different civilization symbols living happily side by side, and all of these are a testament to our ancient wisdom that celebrates diversity, and we take pride in following in the footsteps of our ancestors, and we help prosper our country, and everywhere we go, we establish justice, we make sure that rights and liberties prevail, and this is something that we would very much like to bequeath our younger generations. Honorable members of our nation, when we get together as a nation, we have accomplished great victories in the past. In 1071, when we look at what happened, we see that this once again came to pass. In Anatolia, the first Turkish states were established by certain groups, and they established authority in a short while, and zoning works followed suit, and these princehoods established social and economic rules and shaped everyday life. At the time of these princehoods, many madrasas, many mosques, many libraries were built, as well as fountains, bridges, bazaars, and caravansarais. And all of these brought a new face to Anatolia. And in the lands of Anatolia, the Byzantine Empire lost ground, and they had to call to the European nations so that they would save Christian lands. And actually, conquest of Anatolia by Turks did not cause a huge plight, not just in the Byzantine Empire, but in Europe as well, because Europeans wanted to control the Mediterranean, to reign supreme in the world, and for that to happen, they knew that they had to reign supreme in Anatolia, in Asia Minor. But the Battle of Manzikert frustrated all of these plans. The Westerners were shaken profoundly. They were bitterly disappointed, and they wanted to expel Turks from Anatolia, and that's what caused the start of the Crusades. The Crusades were instigated by the West, and they were testaments to their Islamophobia. And again, these are turning points in history. As a result of these crusades, we lost millions of martyrs, and our cities, our towns, our villages were wrecked and pillaged, and we were also beset by many difficulties such as plagues, but never ever did we bow down to these oppressors. No one was able to put shackles on our feet. No one was able to drive us off this land and leave us homeless. And they could not succeed in bringing down our nation and bringing down our state. As you know, the heritage of the Byzantine Empire with Fatih Sultan was handed over to the Ottoman Empire, and those who do not even deserve the heritage of even the Byzantine Empire are today engaged in plotting and scheming against us by calling help from Europe. 1 century ago, they left Anatolia in a sordid state, and now the same people are trying to bully us in the Aegean, and it is a bit like whistling in the dark. Fear is useless in the face of death. Turkey in the Mediterranean, in the Aegean, and in the Black Sea as well will continue to claim its rights and take what is hers. We have no interest in other people's territories, their sovereignty, and similarly, we're never going to compromise on our own sovereignty. And for this, we will take all sorts of political measures, economic measures, military measures. We will do whatever it takes. And we call on our interlocutors to take a good look in the mirror and set themselves straight and refrain from mistakes that they will regret in the future. Turkey, Turkey's patience will no longer be tried. Turkey is not a country whose courage is to be tested, whose patience is to be tested. If we say we'll do it, we will do it, and we will pay the price accordingly. If there's a price that needs to be paid, we shall pay that price, and if there are those who would like to confront us, so be it. Otherwise, they should get out of our way and we will mind our own business. Honorable members of our nation, on this land, for 1,000 years, we have gone through many trials and tribulations, and the Manzikert spirit helped us overcome all the barriers in Hacıova, in Kosovo. We always fought with the same spirit, with the same dedication. What made Çanakkale impenetrable was this spirit. In the war of independence, we fought with this spirit, and the 15th of July victory was won with this spirit as well. And today, on different fronts, we are engaged in several different battles, and we owe this to the same spirit. Yesterday, we came from Turkestan to Anatolia, and it wasn't just an army of conquest. It was an army of justice and dialogue, and we bring these virtues to wherever we go today. For 1,000 years, we have been touching the hearts of people from different groups in Anatolia. We have built very strong bridges which will survive forever. The seeds of love, dialogue, and fraternity, and solidarity that our ancestors sowed in Anatolia have now flourished, and for 1,000 years no one has been successful in terms of overturning this picture. No matter what they do, no matter how low they stoop, every time we will fight back, and they will be confronted by millions who act as one nation. We are the rightful owners of this land. We are here to stay, and our martyrs are buried deep down this land. And Yahya Kemal, once he was in Paris, was asked about the population of Anatolia, and the late great writer said that the population, or uttered a population that was almost 4 times the actual population, and his interlocutors objected to that. And Yahya Kemal replied back. He said, "We also count our dead." Yes, whatever we have on top of this land, it is thanks to those who lie deep down, buried under this ground. The ties of dialogue, fraternity, and solidarity have been flourishing on this land for 1,000 years, despite all the provocations, despite all the plots and schemes. And no one will be able to do this in the future either. Those whose plans have been frustrated will be bitterly disappointed, and will continue to be bitterly disappointed. In politics, in economics, in the military sphere, every new success that we accomplish will help us adopt a more optimistic outlook for our future. The natural gas reserves that we have discovered in the Black Sea brought the morale and the resources that we have needed for a very long time. And we will make the best use of this natural resource, and this will help our citizens prosper, and the quality of life of each and every one of our 83 million citizens will improve. Hopefully, with new good news, we will take this accomplishment even further. This holy march, this great march that started in Manzikert, is still underway. Today, our hope remains unshaken, our determination remains undisturbed, and hopefully on this holy path we will continue to prosper and we will continue to look into the future with greater confidence. Yahya Kemal said that the spirit of these armies and the storm that you see around us is the Turkish army. This is the army that lost lives because of you. The voices of Adhan will always be around us, because this is the final army of Islam. With these sentiments, once again, I celebrate the 949th anniversary of the Battle of Manzikert, and I commemorate the memory of Sultan Alparslan and his troops. For 1000 years, we have done our best to claim this land as our homeland, and I would like to commemorate all our martyrs, our veterans, our heroes. They deserve our gratitude. I'd like to also thank the Archery Foundation for reclaiming the spirit of Manzikert, the Speaker of our Parliament, Mr. Shantop, and head of the Nationalist Movement PARTİ, Mr. Devlet Bahçeli. And I would like to thank them for their support in our alliance. On behalf of myself and my party and my nation, I would like to thank them for their support. And I greet you all once again with my deepest regards. Thank you very much indeed.
Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımıza hitaplarından dolayı teşekkür ediyoruz. Zatı devletlerini bir süre daha sahnede misafir edeceğiz. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımıza Okçular Vakfı Mütevelli Heyeti Başkanı Sayın Haydar Ali Yıldız tarafından Selçuklu sancağı takdim edilecektir. Arz ederim.